Welcome back. 2009 Honda Pilot AC leak. This has been plaguing me. Been pretty difficult to find this one. I have dye in it. I had the sniffer out on it for a while and just couldn't pick anything up. Just couldn't find it. So I ended up cleaning it up real good and then just really watching it. And I'll show you. I have video. I should have video. Hopefully I haven't checked it yet, but I did find a leak. We're going to go in and replace two hoses on this. One I know is leaking, the other one's right there. We're going to do them both because they're pretty inexpensive. And if we got to go in there and get things apart, just, recover the system, I don't want to, come back and have the other line then cause a problem. So for what it costs, we're going to end up doing both of them. I'm going to recover this system. I might show you some of that. And then I'm going to replace those two lines. We're going to recharge it back up, test it out, make sure we have no leaks, which hopefully we don't, and get this thing working again. I wanted to try to show you this. It's been plaguing me. This car's been plaguing me, and I've been out here for 45 minutes trying to find the leak, which I know it's got one. I've not been able to find it, but if you look at that, I don't know if you can even see that. It's going to show up, but right there. See, there's two little spots. I cleaned that off with brake clean and sprayed it down, and they weren't there in that hose. So I'm going to let this run maybe 10 minutes. Going to come back and take a look. I think it's actually bleeding out through that hose. That's what it looks like to me. We'll see if that gets worse. Really difficult one to find, honestly. Trying to get this to focus. That's ultraviolet light, UV light. You see how much bigger it is. There's two spots. It's in about 5-10 minutes. It's actually seeping out through the hose in a couple spots. There's my leak. I didn't find a leak anywhere else. I haven't seen anything anywhere else. And there's the leak. I've recovered the system. Hopefully you can see this. I'm right at zero. It's empty. It did have refrigerant in it, so I've got my new recovery machine, which I finally bought because it was just costing me too much every time I had to recover them. Take it to somebody and get it done. So I got to the point where I just got one. So I just got it, recovered it. The system is empty now, so I'm going to start taking this apart. I've got to take at least this stuff off the top here. You can't see any of that, I'm sure, because I'm zoomed in. It back you up. So I've got two lines down to the compressor, and they go to the condenser. It's this one and one you can't see. Suction line and discharge line, but this stuff all has to come off. So first thing is just kind of take this off and determine what else I have to take off. I don't know yet. Just gonna pop these clips out of it. This grill definitely has to come off. I don't know how hard that's going to be yet, but we're going to find out. I think I can sneak in here if I just loosen the top of this and get this fitting off. Pretty sure I can get that right down here without having to tear everything up. Let me get the 10mm and get this out of here. Yeah, that should be plenty for me to sneak down in there and undo that. I hope. We'll see. But I think it will be. Sneak in here. There it goes. Crack loose. That's a good thing. Let me get a ratcheting wrench now rather than fighting with it. I'm going to leave the fitting in there for now and keep the system closed as much as I can. Open as little as possible. Get my other connections loose. Alright, put that over here. So that's loose. I've got this one here. Break this loose. Just a nut there. Put that up there. Might end up going down the bottom and getting these two Might be able to get them easier from the bottom and go underneath. I'm going to take this front cover off, underneath plastic cover, and see if it's easier to get to from the bottom. I'll be back. Underneath the car, there's the plastic cover. All push pins, just push pins. I don't know how many, a dozen, maybe 15, I don't know, bunch. Up in there are my 2 lines. Hopefully you can see that. There's the nut for the bottom one, and then right above that bend on the lower line is my 10mm bolt for the upper line. So I'm going to undo them from under here, and then we're going to pull them out. Just wanted to show you that, where they are. You definitely want to come underneath to do it. Not too bad. It takes about 5 minutes to get that cover off. We got both my lines undone. At the compressor, down on the compressor, there is a bracket that the one line mounts. I'll show it to you when I get it out of here. Now I'm going to fish them out. So this is the higher line on the compressor. It's up above the other line. So we're just going to... This one's going to be the easy one to get out. I wasn't worried about that one. So there you go. So there's that bracket that I was talking about. I'm going to transfer that to the new line. It mounts on the compressor as well. This one is not leaking, but I'm in there. We're going to do them both. Both have a lot of miles on them. They're, you know, $15, $20 a piece. Not very expensive at all. So they're going to get redone. Set that aside. Now, if I can get this one out past the condenser without having to tear things apart, that'd be beautiful. Let me get this loose on the front of the condenser here. It's loose. Can I get it out? Can I get it out? That's the question. I guess that's the question of the day. Can I get this thing past the condenser? I would think that... I would certainly hope so, that there's a way to sneak it past. I can always unbolt these to give me a little leeway, the radiator and the condenser. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out of here otherwise. Just kind of, now that radiator is going to have to, I'm going to have to undo this radiator, this bolt. I'm not draining it, I'm just undoing it so I have some wiggle room. Come on. I'll do both sides so I have no play. See if that gives me what I need. Take my bracket off here. Out of the way. I'm gonna let go. Let's see how much that gives me. Not a whole lot, I'll tell you that. Not a whole lot. I gotta think I can get that out of there. Weasel that out of there somehow, because to have to remove that whole thing would really be ridiculous. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying it'd be ridiculous. There we go. I think I'm there. I probably should take this off so I can see what I'm doing. Move that out of my way. I got to pass. Just loosen those top two. Comes up behind the wire harness here. There we go. So, one of the things here, that's got O-rings on it. They gave me 2 extra O-rings too. It's got little covers on it. Little covers over it with the O-ring on there. Leave them on until you get it in place, till you get it close. And I'm going to use, I use this stuff right here, Nylog Blue, whenever I'm doing O-rings. It helps to, it's like a sticky lubricant. Not only helps them to go in easy without tearing them up, but it just helps, I find it seals better, so I do that. Now I gotta feed it back in. Okay, it's doable. It's past it. It's past the hard part. Except I'm too high. I gotta pull it back out. There's a bracket here that I gotta go underneath. Be easier to pull that bracket? Maybe. Might just be one 10mm bolt. And it is one 10mm bolt. So let me Let me get that. That's a bracket that mounts the condenser on this end. I'm just going to undo that 10mm bolt if I can get at it. I think I can. Not dropping it. Get my hand in there. Okay. Put that right there. Show you the bracket I'm talking about. I think I lost it. That's the bracket I'm talking about. It goes on top of the corner of the condenser and holds it. Just take that out, and that way I can move my line down to where I need it. Yep. Make sure I can get everything in where it's supposed to go here. Gotta rotate on it. Rotate this line. Just hung up down here on me. Snake my hand down in here. This is why you leave the covers on until you're done. So you make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. There we go. That's better. Now I can move it around to where I need it. Alright, I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to put some Nylon glue on it. Already has an O-ring on it. I don't know why they gave me 2 more O-rings, to tell you the truth, but I'll take them. I don't know what the torque is, and it's not going to be very high. It's small bolt. Don't go nuts on it. Just snug it up. Fine thread. They're gonna cinch up pretty good. Show you that. Find my, okay, so there, whoop, I can't see. There's the fitting right there. Put the bracket back on top, see that post on the top of the corner of that condenser. I'll put that bracket back in, put the bracket back in up top, and we're done in there. Okay, you have to transfer a bracket to this one. I said this was the easy one, right? Yeah, I always say that. It never comes out that way. Never works out that way. Get this end done. Okay. Hopefully I don't have you off screen now. You're still there. You're still with me. Still with me. Give me a little more. A little bit more. Get this line up here. Okay. I'm going to go back underneath. I'm going to hook these 2 up and I'll show it to you when I'm done. Back underneath. Lines are on. Brackets back in. That was the biggest pain right there. That little bracket on that line took me longer than anything. But with a swivel socket, some tape to stiffen up the swivel, and a wobble extension, yeah, I got it. So you notice the position of lines. It's real important. That line that's more towards the driver's side, this guy over here, that's got to be behind or farther back than the other line, or you're going to have a really hard time lining up. Ask me how I know. Because I originally had it in front of this line when it came down, and that you can't get the angle right, so it has to go behind it. You look over there, it's actually behind this line, farther back in the car, you know, by a whole inch, but that's all it takes. And everything's bolted back up. I'm going to go pull a vacuum on it. Look, there goes my light. And we're going to see if we have any leaks. Hopefully not. I have my vacuum pump hooked up. Pulling a vacuum on it. I don't know if I can get in close enough for you to really see this, but low sides at 20, 25 right now. I'll let this run for 30 minutes, 45 minutes at least. Let it pull down. And then we'll seal it off and let it sit for another 45 minutes, probably. Make sure it doesn't leak down. And if it doesn't, we'll charge it up. All right, it's holding. We're going to start this up. We're going to charge through the low side. I need to put 22 ounces in there, 1 pound, 6 ounces. I've got my numbers written down. I've got my R134 out on my scale. I always like to weigh it out and know exactly what I need to go down to in my weight. Let me get my thermometer in place. Let's get this thing charged up. I have it on max AC with the fan all the way up high. I'm just going to run fan. We're going to run it in the low side. Purge it. There we go. Make sure the line's clear. 27.12. 27.12 is what I got to run it to. Open the low side up, charge through the low side. There's the compressor. Right on it. I've got my line shut off down by my tank. I'll purge my line here. Let's pull away the rest. Okay, so I'll let that run and just see what temperature it goes down to here. Temperature's down around 40 degrees right now out of the vent. I get my UV light out, check for some leaks. I don't expect to find any, hopefully. It didn't really leak down on me, so, but you never know. And then we'll just put our plastic covers back on and a splash shield underneath and we're done. That's it for the 2009 Honda Pilot. Replaced those 2 lines. Ran it last night, checked it, made sure there's no leaks. Ran it again today, it's the next day. Went through and checked it again with the UV light, checked it with the sniffer, didn't find any leaks, so hopefully we're good. I know the line was leaking like crazy, so that's fixed, I know that. But that's pretty much it. The temperature at the vents was just about 40 degrees, so it's blowing pretty good. If you need to do this for your Honda Pilot or another car that's similar, I hope it helps you out. If you like the video, subscribe below. Thanks for watching.